I have to start out with this because this is funny and shows the state of things. In Breckenridge, Colorado, I believe it's every year, they do this ice sculpture thing, and this time there was people coming to do the ice sculpting from 12 different countries. Mexico won. Oops, wrong way. I'll get to that. Mexico wins Breckenridge 24 International Sculpture Championship with a statue called the Beggar. Who would have thunk it? And there it is. There's their ice sculpture called the Beggar. You can see how big it is. There's some people there. And I didn't know what the hell those were till I read it. Those are Bitcoins. So I'm sure if some channels hear about this, they're going to say, oh my God, we're going to go cashless. It's going to be Bitcoin. Well, I guess Bitcoin wouldn't be cashless. But anyway, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy on the judges up there in Breckenridge. I'm just saying it's a conspiracy in their hearts and the minds to think of the Mexican people. That's just fucking funny and hilarious as shit. They win with their statue called the Beggar. But let's move on. Trying to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas. What does it matter and who gives a shit? I mean, there's a bunch of people that give a shit, but what does it matter? That dude reports to and takes orders from the president, thus the agenda, whoever is the puppet in motion at the time. So even if they impeached him and put in somebody else, what's going to happen? Nothing, not unless the agenda wants it to, which takes us to a screenshot of Biden. Oh no, Biden said this. If they pass this bill, it'll also give me as president the emergency authority to shut down the border until it gets back under control. If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. Okay, let's say they passed that bill because it would just, I mean, this is just common sense shit. It would be in the agenda to shut down the border temporarily. But the point being is, even if this did happen, or even if they didn't pass this and he said, fuck it, the agenda, whatever, said, okay, shut her down. I mean, of course, it'd be a massively good thing, but there's, depending on whose figures you go by, since it's been Biden's turn in office, it's been estimates up to 10 million illegals have come in, plus the ones years prior, 20, 40, 50, 80 million, who the fuck knows anymore. But even if they shut it down, I mean, it's like there's already built in disasters, so to speak, coming from this and which are happening right now. And all I mean, God, what is it? New York or Chicago's giving up, planning on 150 or 180 million this year budgeted for the migrants, and whatever. Let's pause here. Oh, and of course, all these channels are going to have I saw this on the news today, planted some sort of implant chip in this dude's brain, hopefully to get his arms to move or some shit, and I don't care what people say. All you got to do is do a little research yourself, what they call research, which means Google. Forget what all these companies say they're doing or want to do. Just to spend some time researching on how much of the brain that actual doctors and scientists or whatever have not figured out what does what yet, and that'll tell you what's going on, because they admit they can't control jack shit. And I mean, what was up with that bull crap with Hawkins in the wheelchair? I mean, I remember the videos on him. He's dead, and somebody speaking for him. That was good shit. But let's pause here. Well, I want to show this. Because, like Dane Wigington's been saying for years, they love to show it when this polar vortex comes down and we get all this. Look how much of this shit's melting right now because it just warmed back up so fast. And the polar vortex is completely separate from the jet stream, though they affect each other. And, let me pause here so I can show another shot. I think I took the screenshot yesterday. Where did winter go? Because now look how it's warming up. But anyway, I had a better one. I don't know what the hell I did with it, or maybe I didn't get the picture, but it showed the jet stream way up above Canada. Let me look how much it's warming up. Pause here. This one I took today. It even says today. Oh, I guess that's, yeah, you can see where the jet stream's up there. I guess that one will work. Highs over 30 degrees above average in Canada, which includes down here and over here, 10 to 20 degrees above. Denver, we've been 61, 62 for, I think, 5 days now. We got some 40s and stuff coming up and a little bit of snow, but Denver has been wimping out for the winter for that kind of shit. I mean, we had that freeze and stuff like everybody else did. Oh, I was going to do a video clip from, I watched a CBS documentary that was put out last year, and the lady was explaining, they're the researchers up in the Arctic and all that. When we get that down-dipping polar vortex, the jet stream's getting weaker because, you know, it's just all fucked up. The atmosphere screwed up, the oceans, the air currents, all blah, blah, blah. But when the jet stream weakens, the reason it dips down is because cold air, hopefully I'm going to say this right, I understand it, but I have a hard time speaking things, because the cold air is denser, so it'll push it down, but it'll rebound like it did now. Now it's where they help back up above Canada. But as we continue to lose our refrigerator, which is all that ice and, you know, blah, blah, blah in the Arctic and all that horse shit, but as we lose that and lose more of the refrigerator, it's obviously just going to keep becoming hotter. Let me pause here. I'm sure most have seen it. I love the way they're doing this fence, because I'm sure other people saw it, the film footage. I was watching them attach the razor wire. It was on the ground. Oops, pause here. Yeah, they showed them with these fence pieces on the ground attaching the razor wire. I thought they're just going to stand it up, but that's pretty slick. They're overhanging them over those the cargo boxes, so it makes it harder to, you know, throw up a line or something and throw clothes on them and climb up. That was pretty slick. Whoever thought of that. Remember that for your bug out location. And here's the latest humongous atmospheric river that's coming in on the west coast. I should have went and looked this up so I could see how much is down. Where's my damn finger? So I could see how much was down here off that corner. Oh man, look at California. It's going to get pounded again. Look what they've been doing to the Gulf states. Just, man, hosing them down. I don't know if they're trying to build up the rivers or what. And I mean, once all the snow melts and the rivers slow down, if they don't keep it raining throughout the spring and summer, you know, the shit's back to drought, you know, drought 101. And of course, there's a lot of hokey stuff in this that came up yesterday. That UNRWA, I didn't look up to see what it stands for. It's that UN agency that's over there helping the people of Gaza, Palestine with food and all this other dumb shit, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Israel comes up with this deep investigative report that some of them people were in terrorist organizations or whatever you want to call them, people defending their own country in Palestine is what it is. But, you know, now all of a sudden they're going to lose their funding, which means more people are going to die. That's you know, I'm not picking sides from religious or political shit, but that's just outright genocide over there. Oh, and this right here, these are where some of the, oh, hang on. Remember during COVID, they said they're going to start doing the chip make plants, the microprocessors and blah, blah, blah because of the created shortage. Intel is going to spend more than $40 billion, 2 in Arizona, 2 in Ohio. There's another reason I want to show and mention that map. Oops. Beep. Back whenever this was in 22... the government's going to give up nearly $53 billion to American semiconductor research, development, manufacturing, blah, blah, blah. But I want to show this map because don't we hear over the years, and it's true depending on the situation, depending on what would disaster or whatever were to happen in this country, what states would supposedly be the safest. Because, you know, they always, oh, look at Denver. They did that new airport with all the underground shit, which, yes, I believe is there, and putting that airport way out there, and they moved FBI here somewhat. Well, look where these guys are moving to. And they're all on the edge of the country. That's one, you know, kind of weird, but... Florida, and you got 2 on the border. You got 2 on the border of Mexico. Isn't that just amazing? Pause here. So aren't they safe then? Who knows? Who thunk it? Oh, and this crap, because they're talking about that new drug that's going around that's supposed to be stronger and cheaper or whatever than fentanyl. And, of course, blaming China again because their factories and the medications they do over there with their drugs to make the drugs. And we know that the global fentanyl supply chain, which ends in the deaths of Americans, often starts with chemical companies in China. And hang on, I think I got another one here. Hold on. I thought I had another one, but it showed, of course, with the over prescription and illegal prescription being prescribed by the doctors, which has nothing to do with China or anybody else, except for, I mean, you know damn well all these doctors make money, but on either all or majority of the shit they prescribe. But you know, I'm not going to be concerned about drugs coming over from China until they put a stop to the black bag operations over here, where they're smuggling the guns and then the black bags, you know, NSA, whoever, you know, to support their wars and other political horseshit and agenda. But pause here. Like I said, we're running in the 60s here in Denver. This is January 30th and 31st of last year. And the high on the 30th was 3 degrees and the 31st was 27 degrees. Pause here. Here's them warming up temperatures. Nope, that's all they showed for the temperatures. The average 47 for Dodge City. It's in the 60s. Blah, blah, blah. Same 40s, 24. Bismarck, 24, running in the 50s. Billings, 60s. It's supposed to be 37. Denver, what the hell was it? Oh, Denver's supposed to be 44-ish. But look at that. Nothing to see here, folks. Oh, there's another one I took of that atmospheric river coming in from on the west coast. And down through Mexico and going to pop up on the Gulf Coast again. This one's about the fungus that started becoming more and more, here in the country. And of course, and it's true what they say. I couldn't read the whole article. This is when you got to subscribe for, and I don't do that dumb shit. But the fungi is, the human body is, on some of these fungi is generally hot enough to kill it, but it's starting to get used to the temperature of 98.6, and that's what Christians will deny, called evolution. Evolution of a lot of things on this planet. Dead trees around the world. You can go pull up way too many fucking pictures of what's going on with all the trees dying. And I got to show this because I don't know if Richie from Boston still spouts that shit. Oh, the more CO2, the better. Well, like I said over the years, that's if you have the filter to filter it out and take that and turn into the plants exhaling oxygen. You know what? I blew it because I had a screenshot here, and in this article, by inverse, it actually stated, because Dane Wigington brought this up, they actually stated that the sun was killing them, which you meaning the UV rays, not just the drought, not no water, which is true. You can see the fucking, in the treetops yourself and from the shit they're spraying. By 2025, and we're in 2024, UN predicts 2/3 of the population will live in water-scarce areas. That is going on right now. Look how we've had the last, 2 or 3 summers, how bad it got here. Just imagine when it's twice as gone. And yes, Earth, Wigington's brought this up, recently, starting the year. Now we're on the verge of the 5 catastrophic climate tipping points, and it's funny because if you watch documentaries on these, all these are happening right now. We're not on the verge. We're in those. That's why this shit's so fucked up. I mean, it's a fucking duh moment. Well, this is the only other one I had. Colombia's high altitude Andean wetlands. Keyword wetlands ravaged by devastating forest fires. This is from January 24th of this year. People just don't. So many people just do not realize how much worse this is going to get, and like Wigington says, exponentially worse. It's getting exponentially worse right now. Anyway, that's it for this one.